Hey everybody, happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday. I didn't even know it was Tuesday until like a couple minutes ago. I was thinking, what day is it? Because we're in here working on some projects. It's marriage conference week. Woo, 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 woo. So there's a lot happening here in the office. We're doing a lot. So it's not really a lot of time to do anything else, but I enjoy it, so it's all good. So tonight, it's Tuesday. Y'all know it's Quench the Marriage Thirst Night, and y'all see I'm semi by myself, but the husband should be joining us very, 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 very shortly. So it won't be just me tonight by myself, but I just want to say that I so appreciate all of the feedback from last week's video. I got phone calls, I got text messages, I got just conversations with some of my married friends. And so we have a special announcement tonight that I'm so excited about, but I just wanted to say thank you all so much for your support. Thank you all for jumping on, commenting, and giving us great feedback that we can take back to our clients. So I'm just so uber excited about that. So tonight, like I said, to close out this part of the series, we're going to be talking about the host. And so I got my little notes here as usual. I'm going to go over a couple of housekeeping things. And while I'm on live, someone is knocking at the door. It's probably my bestie. But while I'm going over a few things, I just want to say, again, welcome everybody. If you haven't followed us on LaCroix Events, definitely go over to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're LaCroix ET. That's LACROIXET on all platforms. Tonight, if you're going to share any information that we have, you can use the hashtag QTMT, which is Quench the Marriage Thirst, or you can use the hashtag LaCroix Events. And our team is out there following the information. So tonight, we're going to give you 5 things that every host should think about when they're hosting a marriage conference or marriage event. And so after I give the 5 things, I have a special announcement for all the married people who join us every night, okay? So if you know anyone who wants to host a marriage conference or marriage event, if you know anyone who says, look, this is something we need with our group, at our church, with our ministry, whatever that is, definitely get them to come on, sign on, and be connected. Okay, so tip number 1 I want to talk about tonight is the wow factor. Okay, every person should be wowed when they attend your event. Okay, now I understand that, and I'm going to use some things that I've done. For example, is that we have the same basic skeleton format of every event when it comes to the marriage retreats. But also, what you want to do is give them something that's going to say, oh my gosh, I didn't expect that to happen. And so something that we do is we may change things up, even though we have the same basic things with certain components. We change things up, we move things around. We have things like sometimes we've had a meet and greet, other times we've gone on an outing. It just depends on what it is. So I think you should always have a wow factor. You don't have to tell them what the wow factor is going to be, but you must have one so that people can in turn come back. People can in turn talk about it. People can in turn be able to say, look, invite other people to come. So it's so vitally important that you find what that wow is. It should always coincide with your theme for your conference. So I'm gonna use an old theme we had. It was I used last year's theme, I Still Do. So a couple of things, our games cater to I Still Do. Everything we did said that I still do. And so you just want to make sure that whatever you do, it reads that concept. Your sessions read that too. So give them a wow factor, whether it's games, whether it's, like I said, an outing. We've done bowling before. We've made it fun. We're going to do something real different next year. We have people dressed as her. Last year we had an all-white party that people really enjoyed. We had a luau theme. And so we had everybody come dressed in white, and we had leis, and we had cute glasses. And as people came in, we said, no shade, you've been laid. So everybody came in, we gave them sunglasses and we gave them lays. And it was really cute, so that they could come and enjoy. So always have a wow factor. And for me, I always pray about what that is. What I pray about every event actually that comes through us, to find out exactly what my creativity is going to be for that event. Okay. Next thing is the world factor. And people's like, what does that mean? Well, the world factor means that the location is so vitally important. I think that if you have your event every year, every other year, whatever that is, you should always have it in a different location. Miami is not New York. New York is not Atlanta. So all these different places allow for you to now, encourage your married couples, but they get to see different environments. There are awesome shows to see, there are awesome things to do in all these different environments. And so you don't want to just give them the same old Columbia every time you have a marriage event. You want to take them to new cities they may have not gone before. You want to open their minds to things they may not have experienced. And so that way they're able to cultivate, they're able to grow their marriage, okay? So the third thing is the wisdom factor. Again, the wisdom factor is really about what your sessions should be about. Your sessions should always be, this is my personal opinion, this should never last more than 45 minutes. It just should not be that long because people get disinterested. It just do. And within your session, it should always have Q&A for that session. You should always have an activity. You should always have engagement. I think it's also when I see people, we've done it before, where people have homework. And so it's like, say, they tell people to call certain places or whatever and get some information and come back in the session and say, how did your homework go? Did you go out and have a date? Whatever you did. So just make sure you make your sessions innovative. Also, just because people, and this is my opinion, just because people have been married 20 years does not mean they're experts in certain things. I think that wisdom comes from experience as well as time. And so it's vitally important that you don't just have people because they've been married for a long period of time, but you have quality people who are experts at what they do and what they know how to do. So I want to mention that too. Number 4 is the words factor. Listen to what your people say. I think surveys are so vitally important, and they're important because I think that you want to know what people are saying. It's not just about what I want as the host, but it's really about what people want when they attend my event, because at the end of the day, they're paying to be there. So you want to give them what they need and what they want. And it may be in the form that you give it. You may say, look, we're going to do, I'm trying to find something that I can't give away what we're doing coming up. But let's say, for example, you want them to get to spend time with their spouse voluntarily, but you kind of volunteer them. And so you give them a scavenger hunt for the city. And so now they get to visit the city and they get to spend time with their spouse. And so if that's part of your goals, you meet that doing it. So it's so important that you listen to what your people are saying, listen to what they're asking for, listen to what they want, and incorporate that in your vision for your event. So I think surveys are great. I want to say this, make them as anonymous as possible, because people are more apt to talk when they don't know that someone knows it's them saying it. Okay, the last one I want to give before I talk about my special announcements, I'm so excited, is the worry factor. And I find that a lot of people who host events worry about the planning portion, they worry about the logistics of an event, especially when it comes to marriage conference, they worry about those things. And so I think now here's the thing, because I'm biased, because I am an event planner, so I'm a little biased, but you don't have to have your event planner do everything, okay? So here's the thing. You may have someone who just comes in and they're just there to execute your vision. That's all they do. Execute what you've already written out, execute your agenda, your itinerary. That's all they do. You may have, and I'm going to use us, for example, that's something that we have done in the past. You may have someone come in and just do the, just also find you a location, negotiate your contract, and leave it at that. So you don't have to worry about finding a place and what's the best place and where do I look and where do I start. You have someone do that. So I understand that event planners can be pricey. They cannot be pricey. It depends on what you're looking for, what you want to do. So I think you should get the help, get an expert, even if it's someone who comes in and consults your area, your person who's in charge, or who comes in and consults with you on the project, and that's all they do. They may give you a list of places that are optional for you to use. I think planning is the key. Taking your vision and writing, none of this all up here. but on paper that people can use it. Know what your goals are when it comes to planning your event. You know, that you're not worrying about what ultimately are we trying to do. Those are things that you need to get together. Of course, I'm biased, so I say hire a planner. Hire a planner, and I think I'm more or less thinking hire a planner. When I look at my host, this is the one thing I've discovered is that they need to focus on hosting. That's one of the things that we strive at in our business, is that we leave the worry to us. That you're focused on your products, you're focused on your service, you're focused on your message, and we're focused on, did this person get paid? Did this go out? How many people are registered? We're focused on that and not you. And so we want you to be able to come out being a host, being upfront, greeting the people, talking to the people, spending time with your people, but that's so vitally important, and allow me, me and my team, I should say, to worry about everything else that's going on around you, that you're not worrying about that. So that's our 5 tips for tonight. So my special announcement. I see some people on here that's going to marriage conference this week. I'm so excited. I'm going to be sending out some information for them. We're excited about marriage conference. Here's the thing, for me, it's a workcation, which is kind of good because I get to be with my honey. But also, and he's here. Y'all probably heard noise in the background. They're preparing to build some things for this weekend. My team is. But I think it's so vitally important because it allows you to connect with other married couples who are doing it. And you get to glean off of them, especially godly married couples who are attempting to do all they can to do it right and do it together. So I think it's just so vital for you to get away and get refreshed and get renewed and just kind of spend time with your honey, that you can cast vision for your marriage. Because that's the one thing that you never stop doing. Like, you're married, like even when you're just married all the time. It's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, until you go home and be with the Lord, as I say. And so I just want you to know that it's so vitally important. Now, my special announcement, right? So, because we got such great feedback last week, I talked it over with my honey. We prayed about it. And so what we're going to do is, in conjunction with the Quench the Marriage Thirst movement, we're going to host every second and fourth Tuesday at 9 o'clock the Quench Your Marriage Thirst topic hour. And it's not going to last an hour. I'm trying to stick my time to 30 minutes because we were on way too long this last time. But I want you guys to know that we're going to be having a topic, and we're not talking about traditional things like, everybody wants to talk about sex. We're not talking about that. I'm going to try my best not to talk about that. But if we talk about finance, we're going to talk about it from a different perspective, okay? But I want to talk about different topics that married people talk about, that we talk about all the time. And it's just, you get basically a glimpse into the conversations I have with my husband all the time, all the crazy things we talk about. I'm telling you, they're just like, you guys really talk about that? Yes, we do. And so I wanted to kick it off real quick because I vowed that I would spend 30 minutes today talking about that. Also, let me plug in a couple of other things real quick before we start. And while we're talking about that, I want to get your juice run. The topic for tonight is dating your spouse. Now, my honey is here. He just went out to, again, we're building some stuff for our stage for this weekend for marriage conference. And so he just stepped outside with the bestie to start spray painting. So that's why he's not with me right now. But the topic for tonight will be dating your spouse. Like, should you still be dating your spouse when you're married? And so while y'all marinate on that topic, I'm going to go over a couple of other things that are going on. In the information about the video, there's a link. So if you want to get all information, LaCroix events, all information, Quench the Marriage Thirst, all information, the Martisha experience, just any information you want to get in touch with us about, get on our mailing list. You can go to that link and you can register on our mailing list. And the beauty of that is all the people on our mailing list get first pick. They get special discounts when we offer certain things. They get the information out first when we have events coming up. Even if it's not our hosted event, but it's a client's event, we still share that information as long as it's not a private event. We share that information with all the people on our email list. So you want to make sure that you get in touch with that. We have some great projects that are coming up I'm so excited about. And so you definitely want to connect with that. Also, for those, again, coaches, spiritual leaders, mentors, therapists, counselors, pastors, if you know someone who says, look, and you say, look, we want to have our own marriage conference, marriage event, marriage retreat. We want to hear about the information, how we can host our own. You can go to that link as well. We will release our location of our first ever Quench the Marriage Thirst host event will come out this weekend during marriage conference. So I'm so excited about that. So you want to make sure you're on the email list. We'll be posting pictures and posting live feed, but that will be released. Also, in the interim of that, we'll be hosting a one-day seminar. One will be here in Columbia, South Carolina. The other will be in North Carolina. I'm so excited about that, leading up to that event. So I want to definitely put that out there for those who are interested in that as well. And so for all my married people, hey, tonight we're going to talk about dating your spouse. And should you be dating your spouse after you're married? And I'm going to take the next 15 minutes to talk about that, probably 10 minutes. And then we will close out, and I'm going to try to answer any questions that are on here. So now, let's talk about it. As we're talking about the thirst, I do believe that you should date your spouse. I'm just trying to understand, like, you get married and you did all this work to get your spouse, and then you get married and you don't got anymore. I mean, I think dating is a cool thing. And it doesn't have to be, like, dating to me is not dating to everybody else, I think. So for me, like today, this is a prime example. We had to go pick up our goddaughter today from school. So before I went to go pick up, he's like, do you want to go to Duck Donuts? Side note, if you ever go to Duck Donuts if you're in Columbia, you ever go to Duck Donuts over by, Whole Foods? I love some Krispy Kreme, but I think I'm going to have to go to the gym in the morning because I think I ate too many. But Duck Donuts is the business. It's really good. It's over there by it's next to the, it's a restaurant that we like, but I can't think of the name of it. But it's over in the Whole Food Shopping Center. But it's really good. So anyway, he said, let's go get a donut. And so we just went over there and chilled out for a second before we went and got our goddaughter from school and just had a donut together. And so I don't think dating has to be so boxed in when you're dating your spouse, but I do believe you must carve out that time. If you're taking children, that is not a date. Like, it's not a date. It's not a date. It's a family outing is what it is. And you should spend time with your honey to make sure that you're talking about what's happening during the week. So you guys can comment. Just my personal opinion about dating. To me, movies is not really a date anymore because we go so much, but we're together. So I guess you can call it a date. I'm thinking something else we do together. We travel a lot together. So, like, for example, we leave this week for marriage conference. So it's going to be me and him together for like hours on the road, or we'll stop and get something to eat. But that works for me. We do others. We've gone to Carowinds, and they're like, why are y'all going to Carowinds? But we do. We just go, me and him. We ride to Charlotte for a quick second and come back. Just like that. Go up there, come back. Really, truth be told, if I told you something, a date for us, believe it or not, we will go and ride through $1 million neighborhoods. Straight up. We'll just go through and just cash vision for like that. That works for us. We'll go through, we'll look at property. We'll go through and look at business property. I'll call the realtor and we're like, can we go look at these buildings? That's a date for us. And that works for us because we're spending time together. I don't think a date should be so we have to go to dinner. We have to go to a movie. No, dating is like just being with your spouse with no distractions. Now, I do have to put my phone in phone jail, as the kids call it, because I have a tendency to check emails, to check text messages, and so I do my best to put it on silent and leave it in my purse. So I'm not on the phone, and I don't do it on purpose. I just work, and when you do something that you love, you don't think it's work. So that's something I've learned to do. When my husband was active duty, we had to be more creative because he couldn't really get off on certain times. So a date to us when we lived near the beach was we would go to the beach, and he probably still remembers this. We'd go to the beach and lift the hatch because, of course, I'm a beach girl because I'm from the beach. And we would go to the beach and lift the hatch and chill out. That's all we would do is just talk and just walk on the beach. And that's cool for me. So I just think that you should continue to date your spouse. Carve out time at minimum once a month. I think it should be once a week, personally, that you're spending time, no TV. Like, I don't think TV is a date. Don't watch TV. TV is not a date. I think that you should carve out time once a week to at least spend time with your, even if it's an hour. Be creative with it. Like, go to, trying to think of something we could do. Like, if you have a big enough yard, I know this sounds crazy, but if you have a big enough yard and it's not raining, because we've had this rain issue around here, and then we've had ants that's just been out of control, this is what I would tell you to do. Just take a blanket, get you some, I'm trying to think what's near here, some Zesto's chicken, some Popeye's chicken, some Publix chicken, get a Sam's rotisserie chicken, and just be creative. Get you some sides and just go outside. It's a little warm in Columbia, but it's the nighttime, it's cooler, so just go have a date. Be creative. Again, I said, don't be so in the box of dating your spouse. Like I said, you guys can comment. You can write your comments in the comment field. I just think dating is a little different, you know, especially when you have kids. Like, I get the whole kid thing. I'm in my son's grown stage. So the closest the little kids we have right now is the guy kids and my nieces and nephews. So I don't really have to worry about right now being able to leave the house. Like I just said, William, we out. And I just leave. But now I must say this, even though our son is 19 going on 20, I feel like he's my dad sometimes, because he'll call like, where y'all at? What y'all doing? Why y'all gone? Why you gone for so many days? I'm like, dog, you're an adult. I don't have to cook, so I don't feel like it, you know? So we just leave. As quiet as it's kept, we just leave. When we be back. He's like, okay. And if we're not going to come back so many hours, the brother is looking for us. So I think you should date your spouse. I think you should carve out that time, because the truth of the matter is that, you know, there's a lot of things happening with you at work throughout the day. And if you don't talk to your spouse like that, I should say, you should have that time with them. That's just my opinion, because it really does you have creativity during that time as well. You can talk about your vision for your household, what we're trying to do. Are we on track for our goals? What's going on with you with this? What's going on with you with that? How's this going? What's going on with the kids? These are all things we talk about, you know? And if I told you everything me and my husband talk about, y'all be like, y'all just, I don't really? Like, yeah, we talk about that too. So if you have any questions, you can add your questions to the comment section. If you want to leave a comment and put some topics in that you want to talk about on Tuesday. It's the second Tuesday, so what is that? I think that'll be, don't y'all give me the telling the story. It'll be the second Tuesday in August. We'll come back and we'll have our first real topic. And hopefully my husband will be able to join us. It's going to be a good topic too. I think we should have some, I was talking to him about some topics I was throwing out there. And one of the topics was in-laws, outlaws, and in-loves. That was a good one for me. And he was like, I should have known that one was close to your heart. I was like, yep. In-laws, outlaws, and in-loves. Another one we talked about was finance, but we didn't want to talk about finance from the perspective of you have a budget and all that stuff. We wanted to talk about it from a more, how do we do our finances? Some people are together. Some people are separate. Some people want to talk about investments. So we're going to talk about all of that and how that affects the marriage and how do we come together and work. We want to talk about, it was something else me and him talked about. We said we were going to talk about. It was something. I can't remember what it is. I think he was trying to tell me about how to still have your, how do you be, I know what it was. How are you independent but interdependent? Like, that was a good topic. Like, how do you not lose yourself and still be one? Like, that was a good topic we talked about. So I'm so excited about it. We're just going to see how it goes. We're going to commit to second and fourth Tuesdays for the next, till the Lord says otherwise. I'm going to say it like that. And again, if you want more information about what we have going on, you can follow the link in the description, and you can just connect with us. For all of you who say, look, I want to host an event, I want to host a marriage conference, a marriage retreat, or you know somebody you think, yes, you should do that, definitely go to the link and you can check the box, and we'll make sure you get the updates of what we're having. And actually, I'm going to put this plug in it. If you attend one of the seminars, the quick seminars, they won't last long at all, but it's kind of like to give you a glimpse of what we're going to do at the conference in November. Is you get a special rate, and it's so special. I was talking to my team about it, and they were like, no. And I was like, yes, we're going to do that. It's a really, really good rate that we're going to do. It's going to, you're going to be like, yes, I can do that. I'm like, yes, you can. And it's going to be an awesome event. So I'm so excited about it. Thank you all for joining us on tonight. To all my people coming to marriage conference this weekend, naked and not ashamed, y'all are going to be, whew, I'm about to get to work, so I can't be on here long tonight. I got to get to work so I can prepare to y'all to come and open my arms and say, welcome to marriage conference. We're going to do a couple of quick videos. I can't show y'all everything, because what happens at marriage conference stays at marriage conference. It's on another level. I mean, I'm excited to be there, just to be a part of it. So I thank you all for joining us on tonight. Hope you have a wonderful Tuesday and a wonderful rest of your week. I will talk with all of